Written by Nicholas Sparks, Sarah and Mike, two souls intertwined. Their story, a beautiful narrative of love and connection, was one that resonated deeply with anyone who heard it. Their connection ran deep, a tapestry woven with threads of shared dreams, intellectual sparring, and a love that felt eternal. They were not just lovers, but best friends, confidants, and partners in every sense of the word. They understood each other's silences, celebrated each other's triumphs, and offered solace in moments of despair. In times of joy, they laughed together, their happiness magnified by the other's presence. In times of sorrow, they found comfort in each other's arms, their bond growing stronger with every challenge they faced. Their bond, forged in mutual respect and admiration, seemed unbreakable. It was a relationship built on a foundation of trust and understanding, where each knew the other's strengths and weaknesses and loved them all the same. Mike, with his quick wit and gentle demeanor, had swept Sarah off her feet. His humor was a constant source of joy for her, and his kindness made her feel cherished and valued. His laughter was her favorite melody, his eyes reflecting a depth that both intrigued and comforted her. She could lose herself in those eyes, finding a world of love and understanding that made her feel truly seen. She found solace in their shared silences, their conversations often transcending words, reaching a level of understanding that felt almost telepathic. They could communicate with just a glance, a touch, a shared smile. He challenged her intellectually, pushing her beyond her comfort zone, encouraging her to embrace her vulnerabilities. With him, she felt empowered to explore new ideas, to grow and evolve as a person. With him, she could be her authentic self, her dreams, fears, and aspirations laid bare. There was no need for pretense or masks. She was free to be exactly who she was, and he loved her for it. He cherished her vulnerability, her strength, and the woman she was becoming. He admired her courage, her resilience, and the way she faced life's challenges with grace and determination. Their love story, she believed, was one for the ages. It was a tale of two people who had found in each other a kindred spirit, a soulmate and a partner for life. A testament to the enduring power of a love rooted in friendship and mutual respect. Their relationship was a beacon of hope, a reminder that true love was not just a fairy tale, but a reality that could be achieved with patience, understanding, and unwavering commitment. Little did she know, a storm was brewing, threatening to shatter the very foundation of their shared universe. The challenges ahead would test their bond in ways they had never imagined, pushing them to their limits and forcing them to confront their deepest fears and insecurities. The text message appeared on Sarah's phone like an unwelcome guest, an intruder in the sanctuary of her heart. Its words a jarring dissonance to the symphony of their love, a cacophony that shattered the harmony they had once shared. It spoke of secret rendezvous, whispered promises, and a betrayal so profound it threatened to consume her whole. The clandestine meetings, the hushed conversations, all painted a picture of deceit that was too vivid to ignore. Disbelief washed over her, a cold wave that left her numb and breathless. She felt as if the ground beneath her feet had vanished, leaving her suspended in a void of despair. Her Mike, the man who promised her forever, who held her hand through life's uncertainties, was living a lie. The memories of their shared moments, their laughter, their dreams now felt tainted, corrupted by his betrayal. The world she thought they had built, brick by brick, with love and trust as its mortar, was crumbling around her. Each brick, once a symbol of their commitment, now lay in ruins, a testament to the fragility of their bond. The evidence, stark and undeniable, stared back at her from the screen. It was as if the phone had become a portal to a reality she never wanted to face. Photos, messages, a trail of deceit that stretched back months. Each piece of evidence was a puzzle piece that, when put together, formed a picture of infidelity and betrayal. Each image, each word was a dagger to her heart, shredding the fabric of their love into a million irreparable pieces. How could he? How could the man she trusted with her soul betray her so completely? The question echoed in the hollow chambers of her heart. Why? Why would he do this? What had she done to deserve such pain? The man who knew her deepest fears, her wildest dreams, had betrayed her in the most unimaginable way. He had taken her trust, her love, and shattered it without a second thought. The pain was a living, breathing entity, squeezing the air from her lungs, stealing her breath, her voice, her very essence. It was as if her heart had been ripped from her chest, leaving a gaping wound that nothing could heal. The crushing blow of his betrayal was more than she could bear, and in that moment she felt utterly and completely lost. The confrontation was a whirlwind of emotions, a tempest that had been brewing for weeks, if not months. Sarah, her voice trembling with a potent cocktail of rage, hurt and disbelief, confronted Mike. Her eyes, usually so full of warmth, now blazed with a fire that threatened to consume them both. The words tumbled out, a torrent of accusations, each one laced with the bitter sting of betrayal. She recounted every lie, every deceitful act, her voice rising and falling like the waves of a stormy sea. Mike, his face ashen, could only stammer out denials, his words sounding hollow even to his own ears. He had never seen Sarah like this, and the realization of what he had done began to sink in. The truth, heavy and inescapable, hung in the air between them, a suffocating shroud extinguishing the last embers of their love. It was as if the room itself had grown colder, the warmth of their past replaced by the chill of their present. How could you do this to us? To me? Sarah's voice was a mixture of anger and sorrow, each word a dagger to Mike's heart. Sarah's voice cracked, the pain in her eyes mirroring the devastation in her heart. She had given him everything, trusted him completely, and now that trust lay in ruins. We were supposed to be forever. You promised me forever. Her voice echoed in the room, a haunting reminder of the dreams they once shared. Mike, his gaze fixed on his shoes, couldn't bear to meet her eyes. The weight of his guilt was almost too much to bear, and he felt as if he might collapse under it. He had no answers, no excuses that could justify the magnitude of his betrayal. Every word he tried to form felt inadequate. Every apology seemed hollow. The weight of his actions, the pain he had inflicted on the woman he loved, threatened to crush him. He could see the future they had planned slipping away, like sand through his fingers. "I'm so sorry, Sarah," he choked out, his voice barely a whisper. The words felt meaningless, but he had to say them. He had to try to make her understand how deeply he regretted his actions. "I never meant to hurt you. I don't know how to explain." His voice was thick with emotion, each word a struggle to get out. His words, though laced with remorse, offered little comfort. The damage was done, and no amount of apologies could undo the hurt he had caused. The damage was done, the trust shattered, the foundation of their love irrevocably broken. They stood there, two people who had once been everything to each other, now separated by a chasm of betrayal and pain. The silence that followed was deafening, filled with the echoes of their shattered dreams. They both knew that nothing would ever be the same again. As Sarah turned to leave, the finality of the moment hit Mike like a tidal wave. He watched her go, knowing that he had lost her forever. Alone in the empty room, Mike was left to grapple with the consequences of his actions. The storm of accusations had passed, but the devastation it left behind was all too real. In the aftermath of the storm, Sarah found herself adrift in a sea of pain. The life she had so carefully constructed lay in ruins around her. The future she had envisioned with Mike reduced to ashes. Sleep offered no escape, haunted by nightmares of his betrayal, each dream a cruel reminder of her shattered dreams. The world seemed to move at a different pace, its vibrancy replaced by a dull, aching grey. The laughter of others grated on her nerves, their joy a stark contrast to the desolate landscape of her own heart. Trust, once given so freely, now felt like a foreign concept. How could she ever let anyone in again, knowing the depths of pain that human betrayal could inflict? The thought of love, once a source of joy and comfort, now filled her with a chilling dread. Friends and family rallied around her, offering words of comfort and support. But their words, though well-intentioned, seemed to bounce off the impenetrable wall of grief that surrounded her. She felt alone, adrift in a sea of pain, clinging desperately to the wreckage of her broken heart. As days turned into weeks, a flicker of resolve began to ignite within Sarah's shattered spirit. She realized that she could choose to let this experience define her, to allow Mike's betrayal to poison her future. Or she could choose to rise from the ashes, stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. She began to focus on herself, rediscovering long-forgotten passions, reconnecting with friends, and pouring her pain into journaling and long walks by the ocean. The rhythm of the waves, the vastness of the sea reminded her of her own strength, her own capacity for healing. She sought therapy, finding solace in sharing her story, her pain, with someone who could offer an objective perspective. Through therapy, she began to understand that she was not defined by Mike's actions, that her worthiness of love and happiness was not contingent upon his fidelity. Slowly, tentatively, she began to piece her life back together. The pain was still there, a dull ache in her chest, but it no longer held her captive. She was a survivor, a warrior, and she would not let this break her.